Speech Communications 1301, Informative Speech, The Decline of Alaska's King Salmon, also known as Chinook. Have a better understanding of what is happening to our natural resource of salmon in Alaska. Learning what steps can be taken to keep our Alaskan salmon for years to come. Do you love fishing or getting that beautiful fillet of king salmon to grill from your local store? Maybe you don't understand why prices of king salmon have gone up or why areas to king salmon fishing are now closed. Maybe you have heard the king salmon runs are consistently down every year. I'm Joshua O'Brien. I'm from Alaska, and I fish to put food on my table for my family, like many other families here in Alaska. With inflation going up at the store, it is now even more cost effective to go out and fish. With the news of king salmon being closed at multiple locations throughout Alaska, what is causing Alaska king salmon to decline? Why are king salmon runs over the years going down each year? Salmon run is the fish migration of salmon from the open ocean to fresh water where they were hatched and where they go back to spawn. Combination of colder waters, poor freshwater conditions, and bycatch. Colder waters in the ocean are affecting the growth and life of king salmon. With the change in temperature in the Gulf of Alaska, where the king salmon feeds, there's a lot less food due to their food moving in warmer water. Scientists suspect it is the Pacific Decadal Oscillation. That is where the water around Alaska is colder, and then the water around California becomes warmer. And when Alaska has a low run, California has a high run of salmon. And that's partially also due to their food. As I said, it moves with the warm water, so now it's colder for the king salmon, and now they have less food to feed off of. And the Bering Sea, where the king salmon migrate out, it also has issues of the colder water due to all the heavy ice floating out to sea. Poor freshwater conditions in Alaska are affecting our salmon as they spawn. With the high heat we have during the summer, all the snow and ice melt. As this occurs, Alaska's rivers and streams become flooded. And the rainfall is a contributor to poor freshwater conditions as well. Due to the fresh water already overflowing from high temperatures, as the salmon spawn, the female eggs don't sit in the gravel river bottom, and the male sperm don't fertilize the eggs, which makes it a lot less coming in, a lot less going out. Commercial fishing bycatch is the incidental capture and mortality of non-target marine animals. So if they're fishing for pollock and they're bycatching, they'll bycatch chum, king salmon, and any other marine wildlife species that happens to wander into the net. And it's an issue for coastal communities just as well as the interior. Many communities rely on salmon every year for subsistence living. Commercial pollock trawl fishing is targeting pollock fish. However, they are also catching or bycatch king salmon and other species. With bycatching being a big issue on Alaska communities, many communities in the interior or coastal waters rely on salmon fishing to make it through the winter each year. Less salmon means less food for these communities. It also affects other wildlife that relies on salmon as well. When the salmon finish their cycle of life, they die off after spawning. The carcass also feeds other wildlife. Efforts are being made to have a bycatch limit on certain species of marine wildlife, including Alaska king salmon. Once the bycatch limit is reached, they stop. Other efforts are being made into how to better commercial fishing without hindering other marine wildlife. In closing, the decline of Alaska king salmon is affected by multiple issues. Some impacts are by man, other impacts are on events that occur naturally. The point is keeping Alaska salmon for years to come. We can do this by implementing strict fishing limits and closing areas that show a low return rate, stopping catch and release, and ongoing efforts to cap commercial fishing with bycatching limits. Thank you, and have a wonderful evening.